10. Ha! Good evening. My name is Jess Lowly M. And this is our history. Uh, Before I get started, I want to welcome the new people. And if you return, I'm glad you returned and thank you so much for supporting me. Uh, I'm going to let you know why I'm on YouTube. Uh, to be honest, I never wanted to be on YouTube because I had such a negative thinking about it, and I didn't feel that people were serious on YouTube or really wasn't helping people. So I didn't want to be on it until one day God spoke to me and, told me to get on YouTube. Uh, I said, no, I really don't want to be on there because I really can't speak well and I'm dyslexic and give them a whole bunch of excuses. And I didn't think about it anymore until maybe a month, 3 months, something like that, that he came back to me and let me know that I needed to be on there. And I said, why? He said that you could help a lot of people because you've gone through a lot of things, and a lot of people right now with the pandemic is going through a lot of things, and your history could help them. And I said, no, I don't think so. uh, I'm too shy. I just don't want to do it. So I let it alone. And then maybe a year went by or more, and he spoke to me again and said, you really need to be on there. You really could help people do it. So I spoke to my domager and was talking to her, and you know, she agreed with God. So the next thing I know, I'm coming up with ideas and everything like that. The outline, what my goals were, and what I needed to let people know, and what things would help people, things like that. So I started my web page, and now it's like I think going into 2 years. No, more like, yeah, 2 years, and I enjoy being on here and letting people know about the things that I did to get to where I am right now, which is a good place, uh, better than like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I've come a long, long way. Uh, I didn't feel I would be here, to be honest. And it's because of God and my little angel that has encouraged me, gave me support and faith that I am able to be here right now. And I want to pass that along to other people. I am a very transparent and honest person. What you see here now and talking to you is me. The next time you see me, I'll be the same. Uh, to be honest, I don't know how to be dishonest. You know, uh, I will tell you about myself and how I got here, stories, examples, everything. It's me. Uh, what God tells me to let you know, that is what I will do. I will not do anything that God doesn't tell me to do. Uh, there has been so many miracles in my life that it's difficult to believe, but things that has happened in my life, uh, nobody else could do. Only God. That's it. Only God. Uh, for people that this is the first time, I will let you know something about me and the people that is returning. You have probably read this story from previous filming, uh, but I will let you know this is difficult because it was a difficult thing that I went through with this. But I'm transparent. So here goes. About 3 years ago, I had a doctor's appointment for surgery. So I went in that morning and I came out from ICU like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, something like that. Uh, I had went in and the doctor discovered a hole in my stomach. It was from an ulcer that had burned through my intestines, and I became septic and was actually dying. I didn't know it, and it was by a miracle that I came in at that time, and because I wouldn't be here if I hadn't come in and was having surgery, and the doctor saved me. He had to put me on into a medical induced uh, coma, and I was put in there in ICU, and I was on a ventilator and everything. Uh, my daughter was there, and next thing I know, uh, I'm waking up, and I had so many things, you know. in my nose, my arms, and, almost every orifice in my body. And I was fighting, trying to pull the stuff out and everything. And there was a nurse there, and she said, "Don't do that," you know. And I kept pulling my wrist because they had tied me down. Uh, and she said, "If you don't pull that out, I'll untie you." And so she untied me. And I was in ICU for a long, long time. And then they began the doctors came in and everything and explained everything to me. And I was shocked. To be honest, I couldn't believe it. Uh, and my daughter talked to me all the time I was in there. And I discovered that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't walk or anything like that. Uh, I couldn't talk. I had difficulty talking, and uh, I discovered that I wasn't talking English, I was talking something else. And and instead of being right hand, I was like left hand, things like that. And I knew that something definitely was wrong. So my daughter came every day. She bought books for me to color because the doctor had told her that this would stimulate my brain for me to heal. Uh, then physical therapy started. Uh, I got breathing treatments and different things like that. And my legs got stronger from physical therapy. And uh, I had a difficult time in there. And the people wasn't very kind. The doctors was, and there had been another doctor that had taken care of me before. She was there, and we were very close. So I was happy that she was there. But my doctors was there was a resident and a regular doctor that had had finished his residency, and he was the main doctor. And to be honest, while I was in there, uh, I was mistreated by the staff. Uh, I had discovered that my daughter had spoken to my niece, and we were very close. And she had agreed to come help my daughter because she was working at the time and she needed some rest. It was stressing her, really stressing her. And I could see it in her eyes. She wouldn't say anything to me or talk to me, but it was in her eyes, and I could tell. And I'm a very empathic person, and I could feel it. So next thing I knew, my niece was there. I was so glad to see her because we're close. We're really close. So she stayed for about a week, and then she had to go back. Um, when you have someone that's in the hospital or in its type of facility, make sure to, that's beautiful. I'm looking out my window and I see a hummingbird. They're so beautiful. Now that's a miracle, a hummingbird. That's something else. Okay, let me get back. But it's so beautiful. Uh, and after she left, uh, it was difficult. And she had uh, talked to my other sisters and everything and let them know. But no one came to see me, flew to where I was living. The only people saw me was like flew to see me was my niece. Uh, Nobody called to check on me or anything. Uh, and that's okay. Uh, and so, like, 2 months went by, 3 months went by, 4 months went by. Uh, the next thing I know, the doctors said that I was going to another facility for therapy. So I went, I think it was like in April. Gosh, let's see. I had went in, I think it was in December of the year before. And yeah, I think it was April. Yeah, and didn't come out until uh, April, yeah, for therapy to another center. Oh, there's two hummingbirds now. Wow, they're so beautiful. Wow. Let me get back to my story. Uh, and so I left and then went to the facility, and my daughter came to see me. Uh, and so I was so upset and, to be honest, scared. I just wanted to go home. So I made a deal with God and was talking to Him. And I said, I will work to be better with walking and going to the bathroom by myself and everything like that. If you will let me be healed so I can come out and go home, I will do that. And the next thing I know, um, I'm working hard, 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 hard. And my legs got stronger. I had a walker. Before that, I couldn't do nothing. Then I went from nothing to having a walker to being able to walk without a walker, go to the bathroom by myself without anybody helping, being able to wash and shower by myself without uh, anybody helping me out, to being able to go home. And that was 2 months. And I was so happy to go home that I didn't take a wheelchair. And the nurse was saying, no, 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 you got to sit down in a wheelchair to go out. I said, nope. I said, I told God that I would be walking out of here if He gave me the strength to do that. I would walk out of here, not in a wheelchair. And that's what I'm doing. So she came behind me in a wheelchair, and I walked to the car. And I was so happy that I was able to go home and be with my daughter. And it was by God's grace and my daughter's grace that I'm here right now. So uh, I want to help other people. And if you subscribe and come in, I will help you because there's a lot of things that I did that built me up physically, mentally, and emotionally. And a lot of things that I still do now that keep me this way. You know, I'm a very positive person. Sure, I get down sometimes, but that pass. And, and I always have a smile on my face. Not so much now because I had a problem with my teeth, and because of what I have, my sarcoidosis and everything, it goes every place and it causes damage. And uh, so uh, it has damaged my gums. And because of that, I had to have a lot of work done and some of my teeth pulled out. And so now my dentist is working on my mouth, and uh, I will have my dentures in 6 months. So I'm happy about that. So right now, I don't smile. Uh, the only person I smile to is my daughter. So forgive me for that. Uh, uh, and understand I'm not comfortable with my mouth like this, but I will be here to support you. Uh, if there's any questions or whatever, put them in the comments and I will answer the comments. Uh, so there it is now something personal that you know about me, and it's very personal. And like I said, I'll be honest and transparent. How much more transparent can I be with something like that? That's very close to me. Uh, so now I will get on with the story about the Buffalo Soldiers, our history. So they were called the Buffalo Soldiers by the Indians that saw their fight. And so the Buffalo Soldiers kept that name. And let's see. Okay, the Buffalo Soldiers was originally a member of the 10th Cavalry that formed uh, September the 21st, 1866 at Leavenworth. Okay. And Buffalo soldiers were among the first Rangers in what became the National Park Services. Uh, and their slogan was, "We can, we will." Okay, the Buffalo soldiers' duty was that the National Park Service was to protect against poaching. Okay, uh, our old black regiment was led by a white officers. The three black officers exception were that went to West Point. The graduates' names was Henry O. Flipper, John Hanks Alexander, and Charles Young. I will just give you a little bit history about Charles Young. And you could Google these names. Again, it was that went to West Point, Charles Young, John Hanks Alexander, and Henry O. Flipper. Okay. Uh, and Charles Young did well on the entrance exam, so he was able to go to West Point. Uh, and many of the cadets there, they made it so hard for the other two, that they either dropped out or it was so hard, they made it so hard that they uh, just left. Okay, but Charles Young was the only one left. There was three blacks, and Charles was the only one left that graduated. But they made it hard for him also. When there was pictures made, he was conveniently left out. And if the photographer asked, they would say he went home or something like that for his family. And they wouldn't talk to him or anything, but there was some Russians there, and he would talk to them. And he knew Russian, so he was able to talk to them, and he made friends with them. After after he graduated, let's see, he was posted. Let's see. Okay. Holy Spirit of fair play. Okay, let's see here. Okay, he had a knowledge of languages, and it says here that knowledge of language such as Latin, Greek, French, Spanish, and German. It was German soldiers. Wow, he was very knowledgeable. Wow. So he practiced during these first years of isolation. Young had few opportunities to break through the racial wall which had been built up around him. Eventually, he persevered, graduated. Uh, Gradually, his class began to acknowledge and respect his fine traits. Wow. Of character, while a spirit of fair play induced many cadets. Okay. So they began to change a little bit, not a lot, because of the way he was. Okay. Young was commissioned in 1889 as the third and last West Point graduate of the 19th century. Woo! Young followed okay. He followed the path of such uh, men as Lieutenant John Hanks from 1889 to 1890. He remained at that garrison until being transferred to Fort Duchesnay. Okay, and his services was as follows: Spanish American year in Cuba. Okay, punitive exposition, the punitive expedition and to Mexico. So he fought in Mexico. Okay, and the ranks he held were as follows: uh, lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant, colonel. Ooh, go on. Okay. Uh, Young was retired in June 27th, 1917. Oh, he was retired by the Army because uh, he was getting too high, and many of the uh, white soldiers and captains didn't have a high a rank as him, so that it was jealous, and so the military retired him in June 27, 1917. But they recalled him to active duty November the 6th, 1980. So they needed him. See, many of the Buffalo soldiers was up here, and the white soldiers was only here because they did the least bit they could do without being kicked out of the army. So the Buffalo soldiers overextended themselves so they could accept them, but they didn't. Okay, but they was the best. They had valor and honesty and character, and when they were losing, they would call on the Buffalo soldiers. They wouldn't sitting there and first with the white soldiers, but when they started losing, they would call them in because they knew they was the best in everything. Shooting, riding, fighting, you name it. They was the best in everything. And the white soldiers over them, they never told anybody. But they didn't realize that they was writing about this and sending it home to their family. So that's how we got this history of all these soldiers because the family held these papers and they was sent to newspapers and everything like that. So the military knew how good they were. So, okay. They had Charles Young had the services overseas and Haiti, the Philippines, Liberia, and Mexico. He fought in these places. Okay. Oh, let me look at this. Okay. Uh, as slavery ended, uh, the men of color knew they didn't have any way of making a living. So many of them went to war. So they had a way to survive and send money home uh, to take care of their family. So that's why they went in. And many of the white soldiers that went in, they bought their slaves with them. So one that would have like a butler, man servant, or something like that. They had to go in the service with them, cook for them, take care of them, wash their clothes, stuff like that. So they would go in also, sign up. Okay, let's see here. So, uh, in conclusion, these men saved our country, okay, because they were men of valor, honesty, uh, and that character was undisputed. Uh, and many of the wars was fought and won by these soldiers. Eventually, the Buffalo soldiers was dispatched, and they was sent to different regiments. When the Buffalo soldiers was dispatched, broken up, they were sent to different regiments. Uh, so this is the history, the real history of the Buffalo soldiers and how they fought and how good they were in spite of the white soldiers. So, so their slogan of "We can and we will" put them over the top. So I will say thank you for your services and your honor. And you took care of us and our country. So thank you for your services, Buffalo Soldiers. 10.